Welcome, everybody. It is episode number 395 of the OMG Hour, and I am Sean Evans, otherwise known as Zion Tane everywhere. I haven't said that in a long time.
The everywhere part?
Yeah.
I always pause just in case you're going to say it anyways. Like, I'm just so used to it. I am Tico, Mr. Second Place, here, as usual.
Hey, Tico.
Everywhere.
Hey, Tico.
Now I said it too. Hey, Sean, how's it going?
Well, we literally just got finished talking about like lockdown and COVID and what's our city, what are our cities doing? And like, should we even get together to do reviews? And like, we don't even know anymore. We don't even know.
Don't know. Yeah, I mean, we had more cities go into lockdown.
Yeah.
In our areas, not like, exactly our cities, but areas
crazy.
Around our cities.
Like, I'm not even having my parents over for Christmas, or Dorothy's parents, because they're all like near their 80s. Dorothy's parents are 80. My parents are 78 and 77. And I'm like, yeah. I don't, and my dad, who's been in and out of the hospital for a year, I'm not taking chances of having them come up here for a day, for Christmas Day, especially with 3 of the 5 people in this house working retail every day.
Yeah, it's not worth the risk. I will say this. Get your turkey now.
What?
Get your turkey now.
Why?
Go to the store. Because think about this. With the restrictions everybody's having, families that would normally get together, 3-4 families together for a turkey dinner, now are going to have to make their own
multiple turkeys. Yeah.
So that's what would have been 1 turkey is now 3 turkeys.
Yeah, that's
so. Think about that on the turkey population.
Dorothy just did shopping today, and she didn't buy a turkey. I should have. We should probably didn't even think of it.
No, but this is the thing: the amount of turkeys are going to you're going to be left like when Charlie Brown went to get that last Christmas tree really late, and he ended up. That's what you're going to end up with as a turkey is like this like
my little fake little Christmas tree here.
Yeah, you're going to end up with a turkey that looks very similar to that Christmas tree, and you'll be like, "There's no meat on these bones," and you're going to be very sad because you're not going to get it in time. So get your turkeys now is what I'm saying.
And on that happy note, welcome. Before we get too much further, give us a like, subscribe, and hit that subscribe button down below, and hit the bell icon, and you'll be notified when we release new episodes. Let's talk about games. This is not the COVID hour, because that would be a really depressing show to talk about, to listen
to that for an hour.
And nobody wants to listen to COVID for an hour. So this week, big week in gaming. Cyberpunk came out. The last game ever to be made. I mean, this is it. I think now that Cyberpunk is out, everyone's like, I'm done. There's no point in releasing any more games ever. So I hope you got it, because this is the last game you'll ever play. Isn't that how this is working? Because it's 2077. We have to wait till 2078 now for the next game.
Well, I mean, this game has been delayed enough times that you almost would think that
it's 2077.
It's 2077. Cyberpunk finally dropped. It's such a weird thing to see a game of this caliber drop without a special edition,
without the PS4/PS5 upgrade right away.
Well, that was, that's always going to be, but just to see, it's just a regular edition. There's one price. There's not
right. There's no multiple editions
here with, 95 skins and a soundtrack and stuff for an extra $25.
Right.
I'm just looking. It's why is there only one version of this for me to buy? This seems weird.
Yeah, you're right. It's just regular standard edition. Yeah, I've only played it for less than 10 minutes, less than an hour exactly. I just saved before recording tonight, and it was about 50 minutes. So I literally went in, I've created my character, I've done the first real quick mission, and then I've done all 4 virtual tutorials that you jump into before you really get into the game. And I finished the tutorials, and it was time to jump on and do the show. That's all I've done. But what an interesting character creator, Tico.
Yeah, it is.
Did you create a female or a male?
I created a female. I scrolled through the options and stuff like that because I wanted to see, what does this do? And I'm like, okay, so those are some of the options.
Here's the weird. Okay, so for those who don't know, I think it's the only game I've ever seen do this. where your character, as you're creating, is completely nude. But here's the thing. You don't realize that because it zooms in and you're doing the face and the head, the eyes, chin, ears, hair, color, eyebrows, all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then you're like down, you get down to the chin, you're like, okay, that's a great chin. Then you go to the next and all of a sudden it zooms out and it says breasts and like, whoa, there's like a pair of naked breasts staring me in the face all of a sudden.
And you get to choose size, you get to choose nipple
size.
shape.
Oh my gosh.
What? Pubic styling.
Styling, yes.
You can whatever you want there. You can just
and genitals. You choose your genitals. And why is there only one choice for female, but like 3 choices for male? Because size matters, I guess.
Well, I don't know. I mean, Saints Row allowed you this too, but they did they but it was not like the full Monty that you saw. You saw
it wasn't
like a
nude.
Blurred.
Yeah.
A blurred thing, and then if you chose larger, it was just a larger blurred spot.
Here's what I don't understand about this kind of character generator. And while it took a while to get through and create the character, I found it wasn't as detailed as some where you have like sliders. It was just a bunch of presets. Right?
Yeah,
so you go to your eyes and you have like 20 preset eyes. You don't get to do sliders or anything. It's not fine-tuned. You have a choice of multiple presets of all the different options, which I found interesting rather than having sliders to literally sculpt your own face.
Yeah.
But what I don't understand, Tico, is this is a first-person perspective game. Why we have all these options? What's the point of this kind of detail when it's a first-person game?
Well, there's a mirror, and I believe there's potentially some cutscenes.
I guess cutscenes, but think of like the nudity part. Like why? I don't know. It's like I'm being serious. Like,
okay,
what is the point? Because you're rarely going to see your character.
Yeah, I'm guessing that there's going to be some cutscenes, a la Mass Effect sex scenes sort of thing. Where
I assume so. Yeah.
To have made sure that when you're like 45 hours in, and it's like, hey, I made those nipples. And you're gonna be like, that was me.
That's all me, man. That's all me.
maybe there's like some character arc like he's like, well, we'll let you in, but we first need to see the shape of nipple that you have chosen. It's like some sort of weird like key that you put your
right. Oh, I mean, some of the details too. Like if you're a female, I guess you could do it with your male too, because you can literally create any person you want, non-binary, whatever, right? But you actually choose not only your nails, but your nail polish and the design on your nails. They have so many different things to choose, right? Body tattoos, face tattoos, scarring, body scarring,
augments, where your augments are,
are on your face. Yeah. So, I mean, it was a neat character creator, and I spent some good time with it. But it was just, I still think like what, I don't know, most of the time you're never going to see your character. So it was like, why even bother,
Yeah. Well, I'm guessing it's got to be for
cutscenes.
For cutscenes and stuff like that as you get. And I've played a little bit more. I'm trying to remember if I've seen my character. I think I've seen a couple of times my character. Like there's a mirror in your apartment that you can look in and stuff like that.
I guess. I mean, you see your hands, so I definitely noticed the flames on the fingernails I put on her.
Yeah, and then when you go into your character like creator thing, to change your outfits and stuff like that, you see your character and how they look with the the different clothes and stuff you've put on them.
And interestingly enough, there's been a bug in the game when it first released where when you went into your menus to see your character, the female's breasts would show through the clothes and the male's penises would show through the pants. Right there on the... It's like, whoa! Okay, put it away.
Yeah. It is
some really fun bugs.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. I've played a little bit longer than you have. I'm probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 missions into the main game and stuff like that.
How are you feeling about it so far?
I like the game. I do find like I'm starting to to really feel invested in the story and stuff
Okay.
like that, the storytelling. But there's a lot of like you get a lot of missions tossed in at you at once, and you're like, which ones do I go through? Which ones do I follow? Like there's side missions coming in, and it feels, if you want to be invested in the story, that you don't want to be running around doing all sorts of side missions because you want that narrative to not be interrupted.
Right. I watched a review of the game, and we're not reviewing the game, to be clear. We did not get review copies, so we're not officially reviewing the game. This is just our personal thoughts. We both
Impressions.
both purchased it ourselves. But I read a review on it that said that she felt the same way, where you've got this sort of urgent main story going on that kind of unfortunately forces your hand in terms of character development. Like, she was trying to play her character one way, but the main story just basically forces you a different way. But also, if you don't do the side quests, you need to do all the side quests to gain money in order to get better augments and get better weapons. In order to play the missions more the way you want to. Like, if you want to be a hacker, instead of going around as a like melee or with guns, you can play the game as a hacker. But you need a lot of money to place into your augments in order to do that. So the only way to do that is to run around and do all these side quests. But then at the same time, you feel like you've got this urgent main quest going on. Should I really be going over here and doing this? So it sort of breaks that immersion.
Yeah, like in their previous game, in The Witcher, doing side quests felt like that's
part of the
job.
Game. Yeah.
That's his job to do these side quests. He shows up in a town and they give him a job and everything like that. Whereas this feels like I've got this really important time-sensitive mission I'm doing, but let me run around and do something over here. And it just feels like it's taking away from the narrative because of how the story's being told.
Yeah, and that's...
At least so far.
Well, and that's what this reviewer said as well after 50 hours of playing.
Yeah. Was
that the side quests felt like they were taking away from the main narrative and kind of taking you out of that experience, unfortunately. So it's just interesting. I mean, it's not... I guess CD Projekt Red, really, the only thing we've ever known of them is The Witcher, right? This is this is the first foray outside of The Witcher, and it's really interesting to see that it's not as tightly knit as The Witcher was.
Yeah, like I'm enjoying it and I'm really enjoying the story, but I'm looking, it's almost as if I'm playing like a Blade Runner movie or something like that. Like that's where it feels like it feels very similar to that for me, and I don't want to stray and just run around and dick around with like a whole bunch of random side missions.
No pun intended.
No pun intended. Well, maybe a little intended. But I really want to follow that story because I really enjoy the sci-fi of it.
Yes.
But I know that at a certain point, my skill level will not allow me to do that, and I'll have to go and start doing stuff, and then it's going to take away from the immersion in that story.
Right.
Like you don't, like when you're watching, The Matrix or something like that, Neo doesn't take a break halfway through to go and deliver some mail.
Right.
But
I tend, like, my gameplay style is to do all the side quests before tackling the main quest. So I don't mind that myself because I want the game to last as much as possible. And we'll see if that holds up in Cyberpunk. Again, I'm nowhere near the main game itself. I literally have done I've done an hour worth of prep. How do you find the controls? Everything feel solid?
A little loose.
Yeah.
A little looser, like for the shooting and stuff like that. A little looser than standard FPS. But from what I understand, you can get augments to sort of tighten up the gun control and stuff like that. Because
so that may be intentional at the beginning.
Yeah, because one of the first augments that you can get once you get to town is a steadier grip, right? So it takes away from some of the recoil and stuff like that. But
right.
I am liking the controls. It does feel a little off at times. I
found hacking even in the tutorials awkward. Yeah, and maybe it's just because it's weird. I'm like, wait, what? What am I doing? Like, so it'll just take a while to figure it out and understand they're throwing at you a bunch of tutorials. I'm like, and then hacking just felt weird. I don't know.
Yeah, and there's some other stuff as you get into it that is going to feel weirder as well. Like some
Oh,
of the
really?
stuff, like you haven't done a brain dance yet, have you?
I've done nothing. I literally got out
Okay.
of the car with Jackie and like, okay, let's go do this, and whatever this is that we're doing, I don't know.
Yeah. So there's some other stuff. It's like one of the styles of the things. So this thing called a brain dance, which is basically an augmented reality system where you have to sort of replay something that's happened in the past to pick up clues on how to do a job.
Okay.
And it's really cool, but you have to cycle through like different layers of the basically it's somebody's memory that you have.
Right. Okay.
And you're having to cycle through like, okay, here's the audio portion of it, here's the visual portion of it, here's the infrared portion, and you have to go through and find the different clues in order to be able to figure out how you're going to tackle the mission by, you know, watching this 3D rendered environment. And it's a very odd thing. And again, it's one of those things like I hope that they're going to go through the tutorial part of this the second and third time through, because one time through you're like, what am I doing?
Ah, right. Okay. Okay.
So,
Well, we'll talk more at another time, possibly in the new year, because next week is our final episode of the year, and it's going to be our awards show of all our favorite games throughout the year. But
yes.
I'm still playing Immortals. I've been playing that every day, loving it. Like absolutely loving Immortals, Fenyx Rising still. I lots of stuff happening. I'm nearing the end game, I think. I mean, there's still lots to do, I think, but I'm nearing.
Yeah.
I've opened up all 4 regions, and I've freed 2 of the 4 gods so far, and I'm working on the other 2 simultaneously. I've defeated all 4 wraiths. It's just there's lots of stuff I'm figuring out. There was a vault of Tartarus on top of this really tall mountain, like a pillar. And you can't get to it. You can't climb up it because it's surrounded by a stasis field that drains your oh my gosh, my brain's gone blank. Stamina. Thank you, Tico. It drains your stamina immediately, so you can't climb it. And so I looked on the map. I'm like, oh, hey, that building looks like it's high enough up because it's sort of up a mountain and then it's a building. So I jumped off of it and I glided. Is that, I don't know if that's a real glid. I glided all the way and I
flew.
I just made it. Like it was like if it was 3 meters further, I wouldn't have made it. And I finally got to the top, and it turns out there's another way to do it too. When I finally looked it up after I had done it, and beat the vault. It was a difficult vault too. Holy crap! Like that's the one when I was texting you as I'm playing. Like holy vault, difficult vault, Batman. It's like
that one, yeah.
It was really hard. Like not only is it hard to get to, but the vault itself was really tough. It was a. And here, this is why, because it's one of the ones I hate. It's the where you have to run, like because running in this, when you do boost run, it's hard to control.
Yeah.
Because you're actually controlling it with the camera now instead of with your normal stick, right? Your normal movement stick, and it's so weird. And you have to do that across platforms that you have like 30 seconds, and you have to jump over obstacles and get around obstacles before the platforms drop again.
Oh,
right.
Yep.
And so it was I managed to do it finally. I got the treasure as well, but I was probably in there for almost an hour, failing over and over again. It was so tough. But
if it was easy, it wouldn't be fun.
But Tico, that's the thing about Immortals is you get these tough moments, but you don't want to give up. It's not a frustrating tough. It's like I know I can do this. Oh crap, I screwed up. Like this is what I'm finding. When you fail in this game, it's because you screwed up and you know why. Right? It's not because you can't do it. It's because you realize you did something wrong.
Like, I jumped too early, or I jumped too late,
And now I got to
this
try
button.
again.
Yeah, I pressed the wrong button.
Yes. And that's what's great about this game. You want to keep trying because you know you can do it. Yeah. It's not one of those, oh man, I can't do this, I quit. No, it's like, I can do this. I just need to do it right.
Yeah.
And speaking of doing things right, let's see what you thought. What did you think of the Game Awards? They were last night, our annual Game Awards with Jeff Keighley. Of course, it was much different because there was no studio audience. Although they put the studio on sounds in after trailers. Lots of trailers announced. I watched. I had an appointment last night, and I got home about just after 7. So I missed about the initial like 30 minutes or so, plus the pre-show. But it turns out I didn't miss a whole lot, to be honest with you. The show itself was over 3 hours long.
Yeah. So here's an interesting thing: when something's 3 hours long and you miss the beginning of it, like I did as well, and then you just sometimes don't watch it when you know it's 3 hours.
Well, and, I sat and watched it until 9:43 when it stopped, when it ended. 9:43 at night, and it started at 6:30 Eastern.
Well, and here's the thing. I was going to watch, and then I'm like, but Sean watched it. So he's taken one for the team already.
Thanks.
So now I just have to,
watch all the trailers.
Like I know a little bit about what's going on and watch a few trailers, and we're good.
Okay, I'm going to put it bluntly, Tico.
All right.
I sat on my couch for nearly 3 hours watching. Well, by the time I got in, it was probably 2.5 hours I watched. And I kept sitting there thinking, I am wasting my evening. Like, when we sit and watch the E3 stuff,
yeah,
it's exciting. It's enjoyable. This was not enjoyable. And all of the world premieres, I'm going to be honest with you, with the exception of the Mass Effect trailer and the Dragon Age teaser, they're both of them teasers, actually. One was just saying, hey, Mass Effect is coming back. Okay, great, we know that. And then there was another teaser for Dragon Age.
Yeah.
There was nothing shown last night, Tico, that I was like, I want to play that. And I'm not kidding. I don't know why, but I kept watching the whole show thinking, who is this show for? Like, they're not showing anything interesting.
And here's the problem is we are now used to sort of the instant gratification of a lot of these things. So waiting, like, oh, this is being worked on. Sometime 2022, you'll see it.
And that's what all of these are. That's what all of these were like teasers of stuff coming next year or beyond.
And we know that's when their planned is next year and beyond, let alone how many times they're going to get delayed. So like Perfect Dark was announced. Like a new Perfect Dark, Mass Effect. I'm scrolling through the biggest announcements thing. Microsoft Flight Simulator coming to Xbox Series X.
See, that was one of the things that did interest me. Is like, okay, great. I like Flight Sim. I'm glad it's coming to console on Game Pass. I will play it.
Yeah, but that's fine. Back for Blood. I'm interested in that game, but
yeah, it's a return of Left 4 Dead, right?
Which I love the Left 4 Dead. So
we did love it back when you and I worked for EB and had a group of people that played regularly.
Yeah, and so I'm looking forward to that. But that's June. It's still 6 months away before the first delay is announced. So, Arc 2 with Vin Diesel.
That was confusing to me. I don't understand. Is it going to be another survival game, or is it actually a game? Like, is it going to be a full-on open-world game, or is it going to be because I hate Ark.
I find it's very for one thing, it looks like garbage.
It looks like garbage, but it's also like it throws you in. You have literally nothing.
Yeah,
and you have to survive. Hunger, thirst, clothing, weapons, cold.
I don't mind a few of those things, but like I hate when I was like, find clothes. Okay. Oh, that thing can kill you. That thing can kill you.
Right.
By the way, it's getting a little cold.
And
and you can't tell because you don't have proper nipples in that game to be able to tell you.
That's right.
how cold you really are.
That's right. Your chosen penis doesn't shrivel up when it's cold, so you don't know. You can't
Exactly.
tell.
So how would you know? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not super excited about that.
No, I don't. I
Dragon.
don't like those. I mean, I've never liked Conan Exile. Same thing. I don't like them because it's like they jumps you in and 10 minutes later I'm dead.
Yeah, and it's not even you're dead because something attacked and killed you. You're like,
No.
you're dead because you didn't find a blanket fast enough.
You did, yeah, or you couldn't find food.
Yeah, it's like literally like I've gone longer than this guy without eating.
Right? Yeah.
All right, Dragon Age teaser again.
Great.
Teaser. It's
I love Dragon Age and Mass Effect. I'm all for that, but again, they're just teasers. They're like we don't even know when to expect those.
Among Us is getting a new map. I have not played Among Us yet. Apparently, it's coming to Game Pass for PC, so that's kind of cool.
That's cool.
Fall Guy Ultimate Knockout Season 3. That's, I guess, plus Sony's
another popular game I've never played.
Yeah.
But there
Master Chief coming to Fortnite. Who cares? Like, I don't even understand. Like, how many things can they possibly put in Fortnite? And why does anybody care? Like,
and Daryl Dixon and Michonne are also coming to Fortnite.
Like, it's just skins that you can buy for your character, and people are getting super excited about. Okay, so I can spend $20 real world money to have a Master Chief skin in a game that I'm going to get killed by a 7-year-old 5 seconds in? No, thank you.
I don't like. That's what I was saying, Tico. I felt like, I don't know. I felt out of touch almost watching this. Like, why is this exciting? What you're showing me, you know? Did you know what I'm seeing? Like, the whole thing was like, I don't get it. I'm not like, nothing you're showing me is interesting.
Evil West world premiere trailer. Red Dead Redemption 2 with Dark Fantasy World. I don't know. That sounds kind of cool. Maybe I'll play that. Callisto Protocol from the Dead Space guys basically made a new Dead Space game without the license.
Yep.
Which is cool. I like that. Swedish Chef coming to Overcooked. Biggest news of the whole thing.
They actually had Swedish Chef on the show too. Well, via Zoom chat. They Zoom chatted him in his home. Because, you know, Swedish Chef lives in Sweden.
No, he doesn't. He's emigrated to the U.S.
Well, yeah, but for COVID, he went back home.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm scrolling through like the stuff. There's not like of everything through that entire thing. There's not a ton of stuff out there. Oh, Disco Elysium is coming to consoles finally. Remember we played that at PAX like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk car coming to Forza.
None of it was interesting, is all I'm saying. It was boring as all get out.
For that much, for 3 hours, to have that little said, like that was it. That was not. I'm not a fan of these Game Award things. I don't really. I mean, there's a much.
I think we've crapped on the Game Awards every year since it started.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, because usually a week after the Game Awards, there's a much better award show that comes out.
Which is ours. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes,
totally.
That's where I was going with
way more interesting things going on there. Let's talk about the Game of the Year. The Game of the Year chosen by the Game Awards and their panel of judges was The Last of Us Part 2. Okay. Great game. Sure, absolutely. But what I find interesting is that the User's Choice polls gave Game of the Year to Ghosts of Tsushima. And what that tells me is I feel like that the actual judges are out of touch with what players like and what games are actually more popular. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Or, you know, where their ad revenue is coming from.
I don't know. Sure, you could say that. I don't personally. I don't personally think that. But what that tells me is, okay, so you've got the users, the actual players, are telling you that the best game out of all of these, including Last of Us, was Ghosts of Tsushima, but the critics or the game panel, the Game Award panel, says it was Last of Us. I feel like that means they're not really in touch with what players actually like.
No, and I have noticed the Game Awards winner of their best game has been a Sony title, like a Sony exclusive title, the last few years.
Has it really?
Well, what was it last year?
Well, Ghost of Tsushima was the player's choice, and that's a Sony exclusive as well.
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to remember what it was last year. There was, I think, was it? Sean, I know names of games.
Was it Spider-Man last year?
No, Spider-Man was like 2 or 3 years ago.
No, Spider-Man wasn't that far.
Was it? It was God of War last year.
I don't know. Game Awards, 2019 Game of the Year was Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice.
Oh, that was right. That was the weird.
That was like, wait, what?
That was the one where there's like 46 titles that we would have picked before that one.
Yep, that was. Yeah, I don't think I've ever agreed with. I think Dragon Age Inquisition won Game of the Year for the Game Awards, and I totally agreed with that one. But I don't recall agreeing with a lot of awards when they choose their winners.
Yeah.
It seems like very, I don't know, I can't even think of what it is. Like, it's almost like this is what the industry wants, so let's choose it, rather than what players actually think.
Yeah, you look at it's like, okay, that's, a commercial success.
Yeah.
But that's not the game that, like, that everybody's talking about.
Right. Exactly. That's a very good way of putting it. Like, it's a winner because it was commercially better.
Like, oh, it sold 8 million copies.
Yeah.
So, versus like a game that's like fantastic that doesn't get talked about as much because it didn't sell as well.
I mean, Among Us got awards. I understand that. It's super popular. Tons of people are playing.
Yeah.
It deserves it. But I don't know. Listen, I'm not saying Last of Us doesn't deserve a win. It's a great game. It's well produced. It's well put together. It's a fantastic story, good voice acting and everything. I just personally felt Ghost of Tsushima was better and more compelling.
I also, like, when it comes to a game, like, giving a Game of the Year award to a sequel, that sequel really has to be far and away that much better than the original game.
It was. It was. It absolutely was. In my opinion, it absolutely was better than the first. And I said that when I was playing it.
Okay. But yeah, not just better than the first, but far and away better. Like,
yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I have not played it, so
I absolutely believe the second is 100% better than the first.
All right.
Right? And that says a lot because the first has a great story. This one has even better and much, just more going on and just more emotional. It's a much tighter story, a much more personal story. Yeah, it is absolutely better. But compelling gameplay-wise, Ghost of Tsushima was more compelling to me, where I played it nonstop until I finished.
Okay.
And so to me, that's a better game.
I played Ghost of Tsushima on the PlayStation for
that's
40
the
hours.
reason that's in and of itself is why it should be Game of the Year, because it actually got you to play your PS4.
Yeah, so there you go. That should be enough.
That's it.
I bought that game too. I paid for that game.
Right. We both did.
Yeah, out of pocket for me to pay that much for a PlayStation game. And that should tell you something.
And did you finish it or no? Did you get distracted by another game?
I got distracted.
Because you and I were sort of neck and neck for a while in that game.
Yeah.
And then I ended up finishing it. I think, had you reached the third island or the third area yet?
Just
reached the third area, yeah.
Yeah, I got a job. That was the problem.
Stupid jobs.
I know. I paid attention to the people who are allowing me to buy games.
All right. Well, anyway, that was the Game Awards. I personally was not impressed. I was very bored, and I felt like the Game Awards, as I said earlier, it made me feel out of touch with gaming because I didn't get the excitement for anything they were showing. It's like, what am I missing, people? What am I missing? I don't get it. Anyway, television and movies. I want to start by, I won't take too long about it because there's other stuff that's super exciting.
All right.
Dorothy and I watched The Queen's Gambit, new miniseries. The whole
The
thing.
whole Gambit?
The whole Gambit.
The entire Gambit.
All of the Gambit. I thought it was a movie. I kept seeing ads for it. And I thought, oh, new Netflix movie. No, it's a Netflix limited miniseries. It's like 10 episodes that are an hour each. But we watched it over the course of 2 days, I want to say. Maybe 3 days.
Yeah. So
it
apparently,
was so good, Tico.
Yeah. Apparently, because of this miniseries, the sale of chess sets
has skyrocketed.
Like, that is like one of the number one things on Amazon right now is chess sets and stuff like that.
And
like tons of
books
people are getting chess set and chess books and stuff like that for Christmas because of this series.
Yeah. Honestly, you don't even have to know anything about chess. I love chess. I've played it my whole life. My grandfather taught me chess when I was little, and I have loved it. I'm certainly no grandmaster, but I love playing chess. I have for a long time. So I truly appreciated this. I loved the story. I thought it was a true story. It turns out it's not. It's based on a novel from 1984, I think.
Yeah.
But holy crap, the show is just absolutely fantastic. I was mesmerized from start to finish. Like, I actually, when the show was over, Tico, I actually contemplated, man, I kind of want to watch it again now. It was that good.
Now you're going to just have to play some chess.
Well, I would love to if I had someone to play with. Well, I'm absolutely
good at chess.
Fantastic. Like, wow.
I've played chess before.
Have you seen the Queen's Gambit?
I have not. I've started watching it, like the very beginning of it.
You and Shannon should watch it. It's absolutely, it's fantastic, and I had a hard time stopping. Like, we just left it. We just let it keep loading the next episode as soon as it was done, which is next episode. Wow.
I'm going to watch the whole thing. I don't know if I'll get Shannon to watch with me because that's 10 hours, which means it'll take me 4 months to watch the whole thing by the time she wants to.
That's fair.
Watch the every bit of it, but I am absolutely going to watch that. I grew up playing chess. My father was a big chess player. He actually was ranked in Canada for chess players.
That's awesome.
So I grew up, there's millions of chess books all over our house. My dad used to own a bookstore, and so he would use that to buy books. And so our entire library of chess books, I think he has a ridiculous collection. I think it's probably the largest collection of chess books, maybe even in North America. Wow. And he still has these. So like there is, so it is something that I'm interested in. I played a lot growing up. I think it helped a lot with my poker skills and, reading your opponent and stuff like that. So I'm absolutely going to watch that.
It's absolutely worth watching. And as someone who understands chess like you and I do, I think you'll have a huge appreciation of the movie, of the miniseries.
I will.
Yesterday, actually same day as the Game Awards, Disney had I don't know if it was a investors call.
Disney's investors meeting. Investors meeting.
Their investors meeting where they announced, holy crap, Tico, 9, count them, 9 new Star Wars shows. And a Star Wars movie announced. Patty Jenkins, the director of Wonder Woman, is going to be directing Star Wars Rogue Squadron. Planned to be out in 2023, I believe. That's like the first next movie. But all the shows they announced for Disney Plus, Star Wars The Acolyte is going to take place in the new High Republic era, which takes place, what they say, 500 years before A New Hope. So we may see live action Yoda again, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike. Okay, so The Acolyte, that's one. Hayden Christensen is going to be reprising his role as Darth Vader along with Ewan McGregor in Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Which is awesome. This is a live-action Obi-Wan series.
New live-action. Tico, I humbly beg your forgiveness because you were right, I was wrong. They are giving Cara Dune, They are giving Cara Dune her own show in Star Wars Rangers of the New Republic, starring Cara Dune. So you were right. You thought that they were getting her ready for her own spin-off, and I thought, I don't know how interesting that would be. Well, apparently Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau think it'll be interesting.
And listen, at this point, they get credit to do whatever they want with this because they've done well.
Not only that, but everyone was right in their speculation that Ahsoka would get her own show, because Star Wars Ahsoka has also been announced with Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka. Lando is getting his own show. Now, I don't know when this takes place. Is this going to be young Lando from Han Solo, or is this going to be Billy D. Williams Lando, or maybe both?
I think it's got to be current Billy D. Williams Lando, like just old man Lando.
You know what would be awesome? Honestly, you have old man Lando telling stories of his younger adventures.
And then you get Donald Glover in.
Glover. So you get Billy D. Williams voiceover narrating his life adventures with
I'll be honest with you.
With Donald Glover.
If it's just a Donald Glover Lando show, I will watch that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh my gosh!
Like, if it's Donald Glover trying on capes for half an hour every week,
that'll be one episode. That'll be one episode. He just goes in, he's looking for new capes, and he tries them all on.
Yeah, like if that's just an episode of him,
right,
just trying on different capes. Yeah, like just a montage of him
exactly.
I will watch that.
And then we get into the animated side of things, where we're going to get a better look at the Bad Batch, which was some basically defective clones from the Clone Wars. They were four or five, I can't remember. They're called the Bad Batch because they were not perfect clones. They didn't look the same. One was a big guy, one's a skinny, scrawny guy. So they were clones that did not actually look and act like all the other clones. So they're the Bad Batch. And they go on, basically they do the suicide mission stuff.
Okay.
And they were introduced in the final season of Clone Wars. And they were so popular. They're great. And so they're getting their own show, the Bad Batch. We're also getting an anime anthology called Star Wars Visions, which is going to be individual episodes done by Japanese anime artists, which is going to be very interesting. And then they're also creating a droid story. So we're getting more R2-D2 C-3PO stories, which personally I'm not excited about.
It's R2-D2 and C-3PO introducing a new droid.
Right. It'll introduce a new droid alongside R2-D2 and C-3PO.
Yeah, so my guess is they'll be the storytellers of some sort of a new droid that they're going to be bringing and that will end up showing up in whatever the next Star Wars.
Maybe. I've never been a huge fan of the R2-3PO centered stories because it all tends to just become slapstick comedy.
Yeah, it's Laurel and Hardy.
Yes, yeah, and I just don't know if that's something that you can just keep up week after week. It's just, I don't know. I don't find that interesting when it comes to Star Wars. I don't find R2 and 3PO are great sidekicks, not stars. So we'll see. Obviously, I'm going to watch it because, it's Star Wars. But holy cow. I mean...
And that's just the Star Wars stuff they announced.
That's just Star Wars, which is super exciting. They also announced an entire slate of Marvel over the next few years, but specifically they talked about 4 brand new series they've never talked about before,
right?
As well as movies. So they announced the new Ant-Man 3 is going to be Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Yeah,
which is they're really going hog wild with these subtitles now, aren't they? Love and Thunder. Was it the Multiverse of Madness, Quantum Mania? They're just let's just do whatever the frack we want now.
Listen, it's going to stand out on a shelf and on a poster.
It is. It's just so weird. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantum Mania. What does that even mean?
Well, we will figure that out eventually when we get to see that.
Right? Do you know what I mean? Like, it feels more silly titles now rather than like serious titles, which they use.
Well,
you know,
they've just gone through that first, whatever that series ending with, with whatever it was, Infinity, whatever.
Infinity Wars, yeah.
Something Infinity, whatever.
Something to do with snapping people.
Yeah. So that was a serious tone thing. So now they're going light,
a little more
of
lighthearted,
the new phase.
yeah,
lighthearted, introducing new characters. We're going to get more early Guardians of the Galaxy type of vibe. Thor Ragnarok vibe. That's the sort of thing that I think we're going to see. It's going to be more lighthearted, as we move forward. And so, we got a bunch of dates. We got the new stuff that you mentioned.
So the new shows, they're going to have an actual Secret Invasion show.
Yeah.
With Nick Fury, Samuel L. Jackson reprising his role as Nick Fury in a Secret Invasion show. And Talos, the Skrull from Captain Marvel, he's going to be in it as well. So a lot of people were speculating that Secret Invasion was going to be the theme of this next phase.
Yeah.
But they're doing Secret Invasion as an actual show now.
Well, there's Secret Invasion, and then if you remember, there's Secret War.
Right.
So they could be doing Secret Invasion as the series to do the setup for Secret Wars as the next step.
They also announced Armor Wars, which sounds so amazing. It's Tony Stark's greatest fear is his armor gets stolen. It's gotten into the wrong hands, and now it is up to War Machine, Don Cheadle, to reprise his role as War Machine Brody, to get it back, to fight those armor wars. That is going to be cool. Alongside that, they're doing Ironheart. Ironheart was the young woman who basically in the comics, she basically figured out Tony Stark's armor and built her own better armor than Tony Stark. She's a genius. In the comics, Tony Stark basically brings her on sort of as a pupil. But a protege, thank you. But of course now Tony Stark's dead in the movies. But Ironheart is essentially going to be the new Iron Man, but it's Iron Woman. Ironheart. I'm excited for that. That's going to be really, really interesting.
It's a great series in the comics. It's really well done. So this is I'm glad that they're doing that as well.
They're also going to film a Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special that will take place the holiday before Guardians of the Galaxy 3. They're going to film the special at the same time as filming the movie.
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting. They also had a little preview of, and a little sort of a sneak peek of Miss Marvel. I don't know if you saw that, but they talked to the girl who's going to play her, and they show pictures of her in the comics, and then they show the girl they found to play her. And wow, she kind of looks like her. That's great. What a great pick. So Miss Marvel is coming. They announced She-Hulk, and they found
She-Hulk,
the She-Hulk.
And they've mentioned that the Hulk and Abomination will both appear in that series.
Will both be in it. Yep, that's going to be awesome.
Moon Knight, again, they talked about.
I Am Groot. Groot is getting his own show.
Yeah, a series of shorts featuring new characters from around the Marvel Universe. So I Am Groot. So I'm guessing that they're going to use that to bring in people like Squirrel Girl and stuff like that, like some of the characters that are sort of
the fringe characters. But Kevin Feige did say we may see some other characters that you already know. So it's going to be an interesting show, the I Am Groot. Of course, Loki will be coming soon. They've finished filming Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, so that's coming. Wow,
we got dates for a whole bunch of stuff. Black Widow has their May 7th date, January 15th for WandaVision.
Yes. Have you seen the trailer for WandaVision?
I've seen a trailer for it.
There's a new trailer for it now. You should go look it up. It looks very, very cool.
All right, hang on. I'll be right back. I'll do it later.
There's also a trailer for Loki.
All right, I'll look that one up as well. Anything else?
Look up the Miss Marvel teaser. That's
All
really
right.
that's good. Definitely look
Okay.
that up.
Okay.
There's a new trailer for Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yep, that
Good.
got a date as well, didn't it?
Did it?
Was it that one or Hawkeye got a date? No, something
No,
got it.
no. It might have been. It might have been. Falcon and Winter Soldier got a date then because I just don't remember what it is. But there's a trailer for that. Or maybe it was Loki that got a date. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I don't.
Loki did get a date.
Okay.
That was the one that got a date.
Yeah. So new trailers for Loki, Falcon, Winter Soldier, WandaVision. Those are the 3 shows that have trailers, and then there's the teaser for Miss Marvel.
All right, so there's stuff, is what you're saying.
Captain Marvel 2, Miss Marvel will also be in that movie when it comes.
Okay.
So they're going to introduce her on the TV show, and then she'll be in Captain Marvel along with Monica Rambeau. Monica Rambeau will also be in WandaVision. Like, there's so many all these characters. I love how they cross over, and it's just so awesome.
Yeah, like it's like I love that they're actually using the universe the way you should be using, the MCU, like you would expect. And at some point, our Disney Plus membership is actually going to be worth something. I don't know.
Not just the Mandarin. Yeah, it's not good for just the Mandarin.
Mandalorian.
What? I did it again. The Mandarin Mandalorian. Yes, that's what I meant to say. Yeah. The Mandalorian Mandarin, that's yes. Oh my gosh, Tico.
Yeah, so like there's gonna be some stuff like people will be like, man, this is the best deal in television history at some point.
At some point when we've got not 10 TV shows for Star Wars and that many Marvel. I think what they're gearing up for, Chico, I was telling this to Dorothy tonight, which I think is I'm all for it. They're gearing up Star Wars to essentially be like, here's the Mandarin Mandalorian for 10 weeks. As soon as we're done watching him eating mandarins, we're going to watch Obi-Wan Kenobi eating mandarins. So they're just going to pass them off. When he's done eating mandarins, it's then going to be Cara Dune's turn to have some mandarins in, Rangers of the New Republic.
So you're just gonna. I mean, at some point, we're gonna probably end up seeing like Disney Plus presents Star Wars channel, Disney Plus presents MCU channel,
right?
Each with their own separate. Like you don't want your Star Wars, fine, just subscribe to the Marvel one.
But they're getting it to a point where they have so many of these shows on the go that they can just go air a show, and when that show's done, air the next one, then air the next one. So basically every single week of the year, you've got a new Star Wars show to watch. You could essentially do the same thing with Marvel. Every single year, every single week, you've got a new Marvel show to watch. That's where they should go. They should get to that point where there's always a new episode of Star Wars, of whatever the show is. I think that would be fantastic.
It would be, and they should just do that.
I mean, CBS is starting to get there with Star Trek. You've got Star Trek Picard, you've got Star Trek Discovery, you've got Star Trek Brave New Worlds that they're going to be coming out with. Then there's going to be something like Section 31. They've got the Nickelodeon show. Like, there's all these different Star Treks, and they're working their way towards having a new Star Wars episode every week of the year, right? From one show to another. That's what I'd love to see. Every week, I get to watch Star Wars, Marvel, and Star Trek.
And you know what else I'm very excited about, Sean?
What's that?
There's a new trailer for Marvel's What If.
Yes! That's right. I forgot about What If.
I am super excited for that.
Yes.
That I really want to watch that. They also announced Indiana Jones 5.
Oh, okay. I saw the Indiana Jones in the picture, but I didn't know if they're talking about a TV show or they're talking about the movie.
The movie, the last one with Harrison Ford.
Okay.
Awesome. There was an Alien announcement for, I believe, a TV series of some sort.
Oh, I saw something about that.
I'm trying to remember what else. Percy Jackson and the something of something.
Another movie or a TV show?
I don't know. I wasn't.
Percy Jackson, like they've all been movies so far.
They've all been. So yeah, I'm not sure. I have heard rumors of a TV series on that. They also announced a Buzz Lightyear
Yeah. Disney Pixar has announced a movie called Lightyear. And what this is, it took me a second because Chris Evans, Captain America, is
Yes.
going to be voicing Buzz Lightyear. And I'm like, wait a minute, why is it not Tim Allen? And it actually makes sense why. Because this movie they're making is actually the movie that inspires the toy that you see in Toy Story.
Oh,
So
okay.
this is the Buzz Lightyear movie that Tim Allen's Buzz Lightyear toy was made from.
So he's the toy. So this is actually
The movie that inspired the toy.
okay.
Right? And the theory, the like sort of funny theory is that the toy company was too cheap to get the original voice actor to voice the toy. That's why it's Tim Allen and not Chris Evans.
Okay.
Which is kind of kind of fun to go that route.
Yeah. Plus, Chris Evans is doing like everything now.
Well,
he's
sure, exactly.
He's in Jurassic Park. He's in the MCU.
Wait, Chris Evans is in the next Jurassic Park?
Chris Evans? No. Oh,
No, that's Chris. That's the
There's
other.
too many
Chris.
Chris's. Yeah, there's too many Chris's.
This
is the problem.
I almost said
That's the
Chris
other guy.
Pine. Chris Pratt.
Pratt.
Yes.
Yeah, so I got confused and assumed it was Chris Pratt again because I just saw the name Chris and assumed it must be him again.
No, there's a lot of Chris's.
Okay. All right, Chris Evans. Okay, well that's.
I don't know if everybody knows this, but Chris Evans was my brother's name. So it's always weird seeing Chris Evans in the theaters because that's my brother's name. So
now you get a nice little memory every time you watch.
Every time I watch Chris Evans in Marvel, that's right.
Yeah. So I
should just call him up and tell him he's my new brother. Yes.
Yeah, and to get us some tickets.
I was thinking money, but okay.
Well, we can then sell the tickets for money.
Oh man, so many things coming. It was a huge week for announcements. Like, actually, yesterday was a huge day. The Game Awards, Star Wars shows, Marvel shows, Pixar movies. I mean, I'm just, Disney, just hurry up. Just come on. Bring it on. I'm all in. I am all in, Disney. Just bring it on. I will turn my eyes rectangle watching all your stuff. You just need to get it out. You just need
listen. We're already paying for the subscription. Just give
hurry
us
on
something
up.
to consume.
Start spoon feeding us, man, because I'm all in. Especially all those Star Wars shows. Holy crap! I could not believe it. Like I was not surprised to hear Ahsoka. Happy, but not surprised. And then it was like not just Ahsoka. It's this and this and this and like, wait, what?
Plus this, plus this,
plus another movie, a Rogue Squadron movie, plus like the cartoons and the animation and the. Oh man, it's just amazing. Oh, did we talk about Andor? That's another show that takes place before Rogue One with Cassian Andor in the beginnings of the rebellion. Yeah, so much. So much.
Many things.
All right. Well, we've got many things to do. I've got some Cyberpunk to play. So I'm going to let y'all go. This has been episode number 395 of the OMG Hour. Thanks again for listening to us this week, for listening to all of our droning and our excitedness. I know you probably roll your eyes every time I talk Star Wars. But anyway, if you don't roll your eyes, give us a like, subscribe, and comment, and click that bell icon. If you're not watching us on YouTube, hurry up. Come on over, because this show is not going to be an audio podcast for very much longer. YouTube.com/OMGNexus is where you can find us. For those who don't know, I just started republishing the Lost Treasures of Gaming podcast on the YouTube channel. It's just the audio thrown up on YouTube. There's no real video to go with it, but I wanted them to be available for posterity, because that's a show that basically shouldn't be lost. And now that we don't have the Podbean account for that show, it's essentially it wasn't available anywhere. So I want to make them available. So I'm putting them all up on the channel. Lost Treasures of Gaming will go out twice a week over the next month or two until we can get all of the episodes there and available. So that's interesting. If you've never heard the show, check it out. Episode 1 is available now. You can follow the show on Twitter at the OMG Hour. The YouTube channel is at OMG Nexus on Twitter. We're also on Facebook as OMG Nexus, and I am Ziantane everywhere, and that is XIANTAYNE.
You're not going to do the yeah, okay. Because that's how I know when I get to speak is when you've done that.
Oh, sorry. It's a visual cue now, is it?
It's a visual cue. I don't really listen to you.
Oh, because you don't listen. That makes sense. You never listen. Yeah. That's obviously that makes sense.
All right. You can follow me on Twitter at Mr. Second Place and check out our Instagram, Flipping Tables with OMG. We have just finished our 750 million episodes of Kicking Tables.
75 episodes of Kicking Tables has been published since we started in July. We are taking the next few weeks away from recording new shows there, but we'll be back in January to start up again. I can't imagine how many we're going to get in the new year, Tico.
1 billion.
More than 75, maybe 76.
Well, less than what Marvel's putting out, but still.
Less than Marvel and Star Wars.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
all right.
Still a lot.
Thanks, everybody, for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll talk at you again next week. If you want to let us know what your favorite games were this year, not just this week, because it's Cyberpunk. This year, what were your favorite shows? What were your greatest surprises, disappointments? Tweet to us at the OMG Hour. Let us know. We'll talk to you again next week.
Bye, guys.
Before we let you go, click that subscribe button.
I already let them go, Sean. I've already dismissed the class.
Yeah, but we're just going to wait. I'm not going anywhere until you click it. Go ahead and click it.
Oh, you're doing a Ferris Bueller thing?
We'll wait.
You doing that? The Ferris Bueller thing where we just say that we're going to wait for them to do something?
I'm waiting.
No, wait, isn't Ferris Bueller where he tells them to leave?